What is going on, guys? Money Webby here, back again on Wednesday. Got a nice 12-game slate here tonight. I get it broken down for you. 6 of my favorite plays in the slate. My money's 6. So before we get going, if you could show some love to the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let's try to get over 100 likes. Haven't been able to hit it recently. NBA season is kind of winding down, but let's try to bring it back here with a beautiful 12-game slate. Let's hop right into it. I'm going to go with James Harden first up. He had some tough fortune last night because somehow they absolutely demolished Sacramento. I figured that game would be able to stay a little bit closer, but he really only played in 3 quarters, 29 minutes, and 60 DraftKings points. So that was really good. Considering that it was like pretty much 3 quarters, and he was absolutely killing it though through those 3. But this game against the Clippers, they aren't a back-to-back, so I don't think they'll come out with that same firepower, meaning that it should stay closer. Both teams can score a lot, and I think Harden will be able to get it done against the Clips. He dropped 63 DraftKings points the first time against them earlier this year. I think he has that kind of upside again here. Over 60, can put up a big double-double. Hopefully the rebounds can be there. He's a little bit up and down with his rebound totals, but we know he has that kind of upside there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my first guy. Then I'm going to go with Kemba Walker. 2 scorers that can absolutely go over like 40 points scoring-wise, and Kemba was able to do that last game with 47 points on the field in a really tough matchup against Utah. But now he has a much better game, much better situation going against a Pelicans team that plays at a very fast pace. They score a lot, and they let up a ton of points. So the Hornets are implied like 7 more points than they typically score per game. So that's a really good situation for a guy like Kemba Walker. And this Hornets lineup is a little bit more depleted. The guys they have around them are more just kind of spacing guys like Bacon, Kid Gilchrist, Miles Bridges, a lot of guys that could just sit back, spread the court for Kemba, and he could go absolutely off here again. Going against Elfrid Payton, not a good defensive point guard. So at 8,900 here, I think Kemba could honestly go over 50 DraftKings points again. He does have a low floor for his price tag, but his upside is so good, especially in this kind of atmosphere, like in a faster paced game, in a higher scoring game, and the Hornets top scorer by far should be able to get it done. I mean, the Pelicans aren't really playing for anything, so their defense shouldn't be too tough on him. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my second guy. Then I'm going to go with Tobias Harris. Jimmy Butler didn't go through shoot-around, so that means Tobias Harris is going to have to play a good amount of minutes here again against Dallas. They actually got blown out there, so he didn't really play the last few minutes as they were down by 20. They pulled the starters, but in 34 minutes, he was able to do very well, put up 19 shots, really good shot total for him, 25.6 rebounds, and if that game, like if this game stays closer, which I think it should, against Atlanta, then he could get closer to 37 minutes, maybe around there, because they're really depleted. I mean, they don't have really a big need to play their starters like a ton of minutes, but they're just so thin at power forward and stuff like that, where Tobias Harris might just have to play those kind of minutes. And against Atlanta here, really good situation. Another team that plays at a really fast pace, so helps the flow of the game for DraftKings scoring. I think he can step up again here. I mean, their offense is going to be probably more predicated at getting him a lot of looks, as they're going to be without Jimmy Butler likely, with him missing shoot around and without Embiid again. So, I mean, Ben Simmons will handle the ball handling role, but guys like Redick and Tobias Harris will see a lot more looks in this game if those 2 guys are out. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my third guy. Then I'm going to go with Tyreke Evans. Let me down a little bit. Last game, I was expecting a little bit more. He came out really slow. But in this game, again, he should be able to start with Wesley Matthews and Darren Collison still banged up. Put up a 13, 3, and 3. The first quarter, I think he had like one or 2 points. Then he started to catch fire in the second half. And this is the same matchup going against Detroit. The price tag is up a good amount, which kind of sucks. But I still think he can step up and give us some really good upside if he can just score from the get-go, get it going. And honestly, he could be able to fill it up a little bit more as well as some more rebounds and assists. So at 4,500 here, don't mind the price tag. I could see people overlooking him just because his price tag did go up a little bit. But I still like the matchup against Detroit. Their defense against shooting guards is nothing special. And Tyreke Evans, I still like his game a lot. I mean, I still think he has that really big game in his repertoire, can get it done from different situations. He can shoot the three, he can drive very well and finish. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fourth guy. I'm going to go with Ivan Rabb here. With the injury to Jonas Valanciunas, Rabb should be able to step up pretty nicely here. We saw him put up some big games before Jonas Valanciunas entered the lineup. And Joakim Noah is also highly questionable for this game. So that means it's going to be really thin at center. Ivan Rabb could play upwards of 30 minutes, honestly, in this game. And he's going against Enes Kanter, who's not a great defensive center. So I don't really have the game logs in front of me, but I know that Ivan Rabb, when he was getting those 30-plus minute games and stuff, he was putting up like over 30, maybe even 40 DraftKings points in some of those games. So a really good situation. We've seen Noah and Jonas Valanciunas really strive in those center minutes. So Ivan Rabb seems like just how the Grizzlies run their defense and just their offense. The rebounds is funneled to the big man because they are playing kind of small. I mean, Bruno, their power forward, isn't really a true power forward, I would say. He's probably more of a small forward. So they're really just funneling all their rebounds to the center. So I think Ivan Rabb has double-double upside. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my fifth guy. And for my value guy, I'm going to go with Hernan Gomez. He's been playing really well. Another guy that plays extremely well whenever he gets over 20 minutes. So we've seen the last two games. Against Golden State, it was a high blowout. They lost by like almost 40. But he got 23 minutes there, 28 DraftKings points, and then 21 minutes against Utah. Put up a nice 15 and 8, 32 DraftKings points. I think he can step up here. And this is a matchup against New Orleans where they play with a lot of big men. So Hernan Gomez could be kind of guaranteed a few more minutes just because of that, because Anthony Davis is supposed to play. Then they have Julius Randle. They have this Christian Wood guy off the bench, Diallo. So they have a ton of big men. So you kind of have to run on a center there if you want to match up with them. And Hernan Gomez could get upwards of 20 minutes again here and give us some nice value. So at 4,100, like his upside again here. If you just look at his minutes per game, 14.2 minutes per game. He's averaging 17.1. So averaging more than one DraftKings point per minute. I think he should be able to get it done in a really good offensive scoring game as well. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him in there as my final guy. So that's the money six. You got James Harden. Hopefully that game stays close. He could go over 70. Tyreke Evans has more upside than he did last game. I think he can score a little bit better and get us maybe 30 DraftKings points. Tobias Harris could go maybe up to 40 against Atlanta. Ivan Rabb could go over 30. Hernan Gomez could go over 25 to 30. And Kemba could go over 50. So some really good upside across the board. Hope you enjoyed it. Slap a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll be uploading my MLB video as well just shortly here. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. And good luck here tonight. We'll see you back here again next time.